I'm Ruth. So about Glowgirl, I did say a little about my journey. So I live in Accra, the central capital of Ghana, but I was posted to the eastern region. So one day I went to the market in the eastern region. The town is called Isawam. I went to the market to get some stuff and I saw some beads, waist beads. And I bought some because I like waist beads. And I didn't really think nothing of it. So later in the evening, lights out, going to bed, I realized the beads were glowing. And I was like, oh, because the vendor hadn't told me that the beads glow or anything. And I thought it was really cool. And I tweeted at my friends that this is something I found that is really cool. And if they were interested, I'd like to bring them some. And they were, I got a few, or I think about 10 people. That was my first ever order. So I did go back to the market and I bought more from the vendor I bought it from. I came to Accra during the weekend. I had it dispatched to them, and then more people were asking for it. So while I was still doing my service throughout that year, I was buying from Eastern region and then reselling when I came to Accra.
Okay.
So it was that for, it was like that for a short while. And I settled back in Accra. I decided to create my own things because there were very limited options in my colors. I was looking for a job. I decided that while I waited, I would go buy beads and then create new things. So I'd go to Instagram pages, like I said, I'd draw inspiration, how to blend the colors and all of that. Yeah, so not long after, I did get a job. It required me to travel a lot. So I wasn't very stable. So I went back to buying and reselling. So I'd have some beads delivered to my house. And then when I got orders, my family would repackage them and have them dispatched. So after I was done with that job, and I came back to Accra. Yeah, and I think that was during the pandemic. And I thought this business had made me a little cash on the side for some time. And if I could put myself into it full time while I waited for something to come along, that would be better than, just sitting there idle. So I created a Twitter page, and then later on, I created an Instagram page, and I started selling. I started selling locally. I gained a little following and some customers. It didn't look like any job or anything was coming along. So I was trying to invest into this and hopefully make it a full-time thing, something that will bring me more income. Sustainable income. So I looked into selling outside, to other countries. And the founder of Sweater Tribe, and she told me about Afrikrea. So yeah, I registered for it. It was not very busy in the first couple of months. And that was because I didn't know how to go about it, with the boosting and all of that. But as time went on, I caught up and
you have some nice bestsellers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how Ruth and Glowgirl have grown and are still growing until this point. Okay, so like I said, I got into beads. It wasn't really planned. It was almost accidental.
Right.
But, because beads are part of our culture and they have a history behind them. So even though I got into it for the aesthetic purposes only, I decided to look into it and how our culture, how it relates to our culture. And I was able to find a couple interesting things, which I love and I thought were intriguing. And also how it makes people feel. I remember my first few orders. People would wear them and be like, oh, I feel so pretty. I love it on my body. I love my body more like when I wear these beads. And I didn't know. I mean, I love waist beads, but I didn't know people went crazy over waist beads that much. So yeah, and women would buy and just be happy about it. And I'm like, oh, okay. But most of my creations are unique and very complex. if you look at the pictures and some of the designs and all the colors, some of them take a really long time to make, but it's all worth it when I'm done because I see the outcome and it's beautiful, and the people who buy it love it. So it's elastic. It's elastic. So I string them together with elastic thread, and then I make sure it's really tight. So that way it can stretch through your palm, but also fit snugly on your arm. And if you gain weight, it stretches, it opens up for you. If you're losing weight, it loosens up with you. Basically, it fits you forever. Yeah. I haven't had any complaints yet. So, yeah, they look like the Accra fabric. Yeah, I look like the patterns, those beautiful patterns on Accra fabrics. They look just like that. Yeah. Yeah. So according to the little reading I have done, well, the most obvious one here in Ghana is an introduction into womanhood for women. There's festivals celebrated womanhood, like Dipo with the Krobo people, and similar celebrations all around different tribes. And usually they are presented with beads, usually waist beads, to adorn them all over while they are celebrated. So these are kind of a sign of a young woman being introduced into womanhood. So that's one very known history related to beads. Well, here in Ghana. Yeah. And there's spirituality. People wear beads for protection or for fertility. They have their priests or priestesses bless them for things that I know people still do that now, but in some cases they were apparently being used as a form of communication between partners. So a woman on her period will probably wear red beads. So her husband knows she's on her period. It's also a sign of beauty, I mean. Yeah.
Of course.
Even now, when you see our kings and our queens, they're always adorned in these big, beautiful beads from their head to their necks, to their arms, to their feet.
Yeah.
It's just an integral part of our culture. So one of my biggest ongoing challenges is that I am a one-man team, basically. I do outsource sometimes when I have bulk orders to finish within a limited time, but for most of the time, I have to do everything by myself because it's not that big of a brand to actually hire somebody and pay them a livable wage to work for me. Yeah. For now, I'm going to have to do things until, yeah. I have this thing about making sure everything is perfect. So it's hard for me to let go of control for someone to handle. Because, for instance, if I send an order to somebody and the measurement is not perfect, they're going to want a refund or they're going to want a redo, which has happened before. And I make sure I'm very meticulous about something. So at some point, I'm going to have to trust in other people to work as effectively as I want them to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm working on that. Yeah, Afrikrea is a good place to sell your stuff. And also, customer service is very important. No matter what, because my returning customers are my best customers. And I appreciate them so much. They're the ones who come back or they recommend you to other people. Be kind when you're speaking to your customers, be patient with them, and all of that. And also invest if this is something you want to do, you have to invest physically, financially, mentally, because the only way it's not going to work if you do it half-heartedly. You have to be all in for that to work. So that is some advice I'm going to give. So provide them the best of service with the best quality of products. And I'm doing a 30% discount on all items. All items. It started from the Black Friday and it's going to end on the 5th of January. So I think. So yeah, this is a good time to buy something from Glowgirl if you've always wanted some. Okay, so I want to say thank you for guiding me through and have a good day. Enjoy your holidays.